Okay, welcome to the only Metal Gear game that I have not yet played on this channel. This is Metal Gear Solid 2, a game that I have teased and promised and all kinds of things. I've wanted to do this game for years, just never have, for kind of good reason. It's not my favorite of the Metal Gear games, it is my least favorite. Now, just because it's my least favorite Metal Gear Solid game doesn't mean that that it's a bad game. It is in fact a fantastic game. What? Okay. I don't know why it says I'm not connected to the PlayStation Network, but I also don't really care at the same time. Radar Type 1. Yeah, that's what I want. That's actually untrue. This is actually based on a true story. This happened to a buddy of mine.
The Hudson River, 2 years ago. We had classified intelligence that a new type of Metal Gear was scheduled for transport. The whole thing stank, but our noses have been out in the cold too long.
So, I usually like to play these games on original hardware when possible. And it is possible. I recorded the first 2 hours of this game on the PS2, but there were a lot of weird issues. The colors were weird because I had to turn the brightness up. And there was no sound in certain cutscenes. Like this cutscene, there was no sound in. So I'm playing this on the HD collection, which is a fine version of the game. I just prefer to play it on PS2. If I'm going back and playing this game, it's going to be the PS2 version. I don't like the way that the cutscenes look in this game, particularly. Because they look like how they did in Metal Gear Solid 1 in this game, but in the HD version, I think they just zoom in. They get rid of the black bar on the bottom of the screen. I'm pretty sure these are zoomed in and you're not actually seeing the full cutscene. It does look nice though, graphically. This and Snake Eater and Peace Walker are three really... Well, I mean, they're done by Bluepoint. So, of course they're gonna look good and play good and feel good. This isn't the Silent Hill HD collection. This also appears to be one of the few games that you can't play with the PS4 controller. I tried, but wouldn't let me do any inputs. So I gotta play with the busted-ass PS3 controller that has an incredibly sticky right thumbstick.
Our boy is right on schedule. He'll know soon enough.
Like, even that looks completely different than it did on the PS2 version. The text was like way bigger. Yeah, this is weird. Playing them back to back, it's like you can really tell the differences.
This is Snake. Do you read me, Otacon?
Loud and clear, Snake.
Kept you waiting, huh? I'm at the sneak point.
Everything going okay?
Stealth camo's busted. Landing impact.
We must have overused it. Sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it.
I understand.
You're not in the military anymore.
Right. I didn't plan on relying on this gadget anyway.
The private sector's not so bad, is it? Privacy guaranteed?
I'm happy as long as no one gives me any more unwanted gifts.
You mean that thing with Naomi?
And I can't say I miss the chattering nanny.
Mei Ling's not so bad. That reminds me, I have to get in touch with her again about that new Natick flashware.
Diverting toys from the SSCEN again? Look, give her a message from me. Someone will find out, sooner or later. She's better off assuming it sooner and quit while she's safe.
Too true. Okay, Snake, let's get to work. You know how the technical specs of Metal Gear were sold on the black market after Shadow Moses?
All Ocelot's doing.
Exactly. And now every state, group, and .com has its own version of Metal Gear.
Not exactly a classified weapon for today's nuclear powers.
This new one seems to have been designed to wipe the floor with all the other models. The only consistent description is that it's an amphibious, anti-Metal Gear vehicle.
That explains why this one is under Marine Corps jurisdiction.
The mission objective is to make visual confirmation of the new Metal Gear being transported by that tanker and bring back photographic evidence. But I want you first to go up to the top level of the infrastructure, to the bridge. We need to find out where the tanker is headed.
A little reconnaissance, huh?
There's too much we don't know about this new prototype. Capabilities, deployment method. We don't even know how close it is to completion. If we know where the testing arena is, I can start to draw some reasonable conclusions.
All right, I'll head to the bridge ASAP.
Try to avoid confrontations. Our goal is to collect evidence on Metal Gear development and expose it to the world. It would be best if you could get out of there without alerting anyone.
Don't worry, I know the drill. We're not terrorists.
Very good. Don't you forget that you're part of Philanthropy now, an anti-Metal Gear organization and officially recognized by the UN.
Recognized, but still fringe, Otacon.
All right, let's look at your gear. Your weapon is a tranquilizer
Wow.
gun converted from a Beretta M92F.
It's like I've never played a video game before.
M9.
It's a little hard to work
M9.
with because you have to reload after each shot since the slide
Will I be able to
locks.
use the M9
Better
if
than
I've never used the
scavenging
M's
mission
1 through
sites.
8?
Good suppressor, too.
The chemical stun will take effect in a few seconds and last for hours. You can take down an elephant with that thing. Check out the laser sighting, too. The effects of the anesthetic round will vary depending on what part of the body is hit. We're talking about a difference of tens of seconds between hitting limbs, chest, or head.
Yeah, so I mean,
As for the
Otacon's
equipment-
going over some things, but we'll get
Hey,
more into
Snake,
this as we
cigarettes?
actually progress
What's
through
wrong
the
with
game,
you?
because
It's kind of a lucky
this
time.
one is a lot more
haven't read
intricate
the
than Metal Gear
Surgeon
Solid
General's
1,
warning,
which
have
is
you?
the last game that I played on the channel.
Here's the
technically.
digital camera.
And really it
Works
was
almost the
5,
same
but
way
I
as your
went
old
back
one.
and replayed 1, so, you know. A lot of changes. It's a very, very detailed game, which is one of the best aspects about it.
They don't look armed.
Hey, Earth to Snake. These are nice, upstanding Marines, not terrorists. Don't get caught. You're in stealth mode here.
Sure, and if it comes to that, a little beauty sleep never hurt anyone. By the way, Otacon, are you sure of this intelligence?
Absolutely. Hacked it out of the Pentagon's classified files myself.
No traces?
Oh, please. I'm too good for that.
But this might be a trap. Remember, there's a price on our heads.
You're just being paranoid.
I hope so. Those men, you wouldn't think they were anything but civilians from here.
With all the ships passing on the river and in the harbor, putting uniformed Marines on the deck would be a bad idea. People can get a clear view of the water from Riverside, too.
The water line is too high. According to the navigational plans, this ship should have discharged its cargo upriver.
It's in there, no doubt about it.
The military trains you to watch for threats from the stern on a boat. That's SOP for counter-terror ops, too. Security should be tighter.
You worry too much.
Where's the target?
Satellite surveillance is a major international pastime these days. I'd say the cargo holds, safely below the deck. Do you see the entrance to the holds?
Looks like there are a few entryways into the crew quarters. The chopper. What? we're not the only ones after Metal Gear tonight.
Is that a chopper I just heard?
Affirmative. Probably another cavalry. What's their game? Hijack?
They're probably targeting the ship's controls.
Otacon, how many men do you need to take over a tanker of this size?
The ship is run by a computer, so I'd say about 18 people.
AKS-74U. Russians?
You sure?
No Marine barber touched that head of hair. I'm transmitting a photo. Let's get an ID on him ASAP.
I'm on it.
He looks confused.
Looks like the tanker's theirs now. KA-60 Kasatka.
Kasatka? Kamov chopper, right? Killer whale.
We need to get a fix on who they are.
Judging by their transport, aren't they some kind of military commandos?
Not necessarily. It could be the KA-62, the civil model.
Look, Snake, all we need is the
gotta be
photographic
joking.
evidence of Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's one
As
of my
long as we
favorite
have
things
those,
about
we can
this
put it
this
online
game is
and
that they
blow the
added.
whole thing wide open.
You can move the
So
characters
no
around in here,
pyrotechnics,
and when
okay?
Snake's not
All
talking, you
right.
can press
I'll do my best.
R1 and
This isn't like
R2
Shadow Moses. Reach
to
me
get
if
his
anything
inner
happens.
thoughts.
Not in a
The
million
frequency's
years.
141.12.
How can I check in and save my progress?
I'll do it. There's a frequency set aside for it. 140.96. Sorry, but no Mei Ling this
Not
time.
in a million
Call me on the
years.
codec when you want
He's
to
so
save.
mad.
Got it.
I'll be waiting just past the Verrazano Bridge. You need to be off that ship by then.
I'll be in touch.
You want to know something really cool? I just had to scramble to find a second PS3 controller because the one that I was just using does not work. Basically, the L2 button is like stuck down, so I couldn't get out of this menu, and that's not good. Also, is there like a settings menu? Because the buttons are reversed. Circle on the PS2 version is confirm, and X is like go back. But on this it's switched, which I don't like. It's more modern, but again, playing this game for so long, you just get used to the way that it's supposed to play, basically. So this game like does a lot of stuff way differently from Metal Gear Solid 1. That makes it, in terms of gameplay, probably better, but a lot of other stuff I don't think it does as well. Like, obviously aiming in first person, you could look in first person in Metal Gear Solid 1, but you couldn't aim in first person, which was a big difference. And when they went back and remade Metal Gear Solid 1 in this engine for the GameCube, just the ability to aim and shoot, like, broke parts of that game. Like, the Ocelot fight, in the very beginning, you could literally just stand there and shoot him and not have to move. It completely trivializes that fight. Let's see, we got some pentazamine. Let's see what that does. I just did it again.
You have pentazamine in your inventory. If you need to take some, select it in the item window and push the enter button. Pentazamine is a mild tranquilizer used to treat clinical depression, obsessive-compulsive behavior, and anxiety. It belongs to the benzodiazepinide family. And along with its antidepressant and anti-anxiety...
I won't overuse
it
the
suppresses
snake talking in
convulsions.
the
Take it when you have
thing,
a
'cause
tough shot
it
ahead
does
with a
kind of
sniper
distract,
rifle,
but it's just
and
too
you need
fun not to do.
minimize shakiness. But I guess you don't have one of those yet. Well, you can also try some if you're feeling really seasick.
I just tried one.
Otacon, I took the pentazamine and you're right. The seasickness is gone.
Wow, really?
What do you mean, really? You said...
Drugs are mostly about placebo effect. If you believe it's effective, it is. You're more naive than I thought.
I love the little conversations. God damn it, I did it again! I pressed the X button thinking
Snake,
that that's the get out of here button, but it's not. That's so obnoxious. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do in first person. You can use the L2 button to peek left, R2 to peek right. You hold both of them, you go up on your tippy toes. Very useful stuff. I love that. You do not need the Pentazamine equipped. So yeah, I think in some ways this feels more like a tactical, like you need to actually plan your moves, kind of a stealth game, which is cool. But I don't know, I just prefer Metal Gear Solid 1. This is the only one that I really don't love going back to. It's a fun game, and the story specifically is really worth playing it for. But, not really my favorite game in the series, as I've said. Now you can dispose of these guys. I think there's areas like over here, like right here. You can dump those guys right off of the tanker, which is pretty funny. But I don't really like killing people in these games, so we're gonna not do that. I think that's a pretty good idea. I just heard my phone, but I don't know where oh, it's on the floor. Right, I was looking for a PS3 controller. Completely forgot. But, let's go here. I'm sure we can just open this up, right? This is what cutscenes look like on the PS2, and I think they look much better. I don't know why they couldn't at least give an option to make them look like this. One of the things that this game does spectacularly, I'm not going to say it does it better than Metal Gear Solid 1, but it has a absolutely phenomenal soundtrack. Ooh, hey, what's this? Wow, you can't even see that. What the hell? Also, why can't you go in there? This version's a little weird. So you see there's this, I mean, you can't really even see it. There's a photo of a woman here. If you zoom in, Snake kisses it, which is really creepy. But that is something that he can do. Also, you can do this. I think that texture didn't load in right, because all the other ones look normal.
This reminds me of when we first met.
I was the one inside the locker that time. We're equal now, huh?
Not unless I wet my pants.
That's a low blow, Snake.
Not unless I wet my pants. Wet my little pee-pee pants. Otacon. I'm gonna wet my pants. Alright, I'll try not to do weird, creepy Snake. Hopefully this one saves. I don't know why I just went in there. This song rules. Did this one load correctly? Yeah, I guess. Ooh, I don't really... Snake, that's a little weird that you just kissed her boobs. Hold on. Gotta save that one for later. I am actually doing that for a reason. I'm not just being a creep. I mean, I am being a creep, but, you know, you'll see. You'll all see. This is another thing. I don't think you could do this in one, right?
Freeze.
You can hold people up. If you hold them up, they'll stop what they're doing. You can just shoot them. If you want to get their dog tags, which you can use to unlock, like, certain items, you can, you know, further hold them up by going, well, we'll show it. I'll show it off at some point, but you can do other things than just shoot them in the back of the head, but I like to just shoot them in the back of the head. These scenes always look really weird to me, because the camera movement is, like, really strange. I got him. That's what we like to call the old Gotham. Let's see. Can I get this guy? Oh, almost certainly. It's not even a challenge. Also, I will say I think the tanker is like maybe one of my favorite Metal Gear locations. I just love it. The music's great here. The environment is really cool. It's very unique for Metal Gear. And I like it quite a bit. I think, don't you get something if you look at this and then call Otacon? He's like, we can't just take pictures of that, Snake. I did it again. I pressed circle.
Look at the TV over there. It's showing the hold.
So that's...
The new Metal Gear.
Why are they broadcasting this?
They probably want to keep a record of this exercise. And maybe give a little presentation?
Presentation?
That ship's been transmitting a live video feed via military satellite uplink for a while now.
So there's some brass out there smacking their lips over this little home movie.
I've been trying to pinpoint the receiving location, but I haven't had much luck. There's a heavy-duty firewall in the way. I'll try some more, though.
Wherever it is, it must be a warm, dry office with hot coffee on tap.
Far cry from that tanker, huh? That's what happens when the battlefield has a revolution in military affairs.
So true, Otacon. You took the words right out of my mouth. I gotta remember which way I'm actually going here. I think I just go downstairs. Oh no, duh, I literally just go in here. It's the easiest thing in the world. That is one of the things that, not right now, but later on in this game, this is a confusing ass map.
Freeze.
I love when sometimes they make this noise. They go. When you hold them up, sometimes they'll just go. Maybe we'll get a guy to do that at some point. But I don't usually hold people up. Also, that's not usually a thing that I do. I usually am just shooting them in the back of the heads. Maybe this guy will go.
Freeze.
Nope. Unfortunately. I think it would have been cool if there were, like, there are some areas where Snake can, like, completely blend in with, like, the darkness. I think that would have been a cool mechanic, like, if you're in shadows, no one can see you, but I think they can still see you if they, like, look at you. Also, Snake's ass does not, in fact, quit in this game. That's one thing for sure. Alright, can't go up that way. And that goes outside, so that's not the way that we want to go. Bing, 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 bong. I do believe this is, though.